In Adventure Time's Season 1 episode City of Thieves, we're introduced to the down-on-her-luck girl Penny, whose sweet innocent exterior masks a Machiavellian mind that ruthlessly calculates the means to satisfy her greed. Or maybe she's just misunderstood. This is an interesting episode thematically because it takes on the difficult issue of moral complexity. More on that later. More broadly, the basic plot of City of Thieves is that Finn is duped, accused of a crime, and swears revenge, which incidentally is also the basic plot of the famous novel Count of Monte Cristo. I'm innocent! I'm innocent! The City of Thieves is a place where all who enter are destined to become thieves themselves. According to a wooden witch, Finn and Jake meet outside the aforementioned city. Finn and Jake, however, argue this couldn't apply to Finn since Finn is pure. Finding a girl crying about her lost basket of flowers, Finn vows to find the flower basket and return it to her. Apparently, the girl, Penny, last saw her basket locked inside a treasure chest. This episode is largely an excuse to show an overextended sequence of farcical thefts, as various items are stolen by a bewildering cavalcade of fantastical thieves. Halfway through the episode, Jake succumbs to the dark allure of the city himself and steals a shiny pair of boots. Shortly after, Finn steals a treasure chest that supposedly has Penny's basket of flowers, only to find out that it's just a treasure chest full of gold. Penny has tricked him into stealing. For Finn, this is an awful moment because his illusion that he is morally pure is shattered. Of course, he was tricked, so he didn't knowingly steal, but Finn looks at the situation in terms of complete moral absolutes. Either he's a pure hero or a vile thief. In for a penny, in for a pound, I suppose. From that perspective, as a vile thief, he vows to embrace the darkness of this wicked city and use the methods of the criminal to seek vengeance on Penny. Finn certainly goes all out here, stealing various items in a dramatic action sequence until he is ready to enact his revenge, which consists of scrubbing Penny with soap until she's clean. Finn and Jake think for a moment that this has also purified her soul. It hasn't. Penny literally steals the clothes off Finn's back before running into the dark. When Finn broke his moral code, was he just unlucky? According to the philosopher Thomas Nagel, there's an element of luck in morality. As he puts it in his famous essay Moral Luck, what we do is limited by the opportunities and choices with which we are faced, and these are largely determined by factors beyond our control. Someone who was an officer in a concentration camp might have led a quiet and harmless life if the Nazis had never come to power in Germany. And someone who led a quiet and harmless life in Argentina might have become an officer in a concentration camp if he had not left Germany for business reasons in 1930. Finn has actually been lucky in a lot of ways. While he's an orphan, he has spent a good chunk of his life as a hero for the Candy Kingdom and its good-natured if somewhat hapless citizens. Of course, the Candy Kingdom isn't perfect, but Jake seems to have actually kept Finn away from its dark side. In the Season 3 episode Apple Thief, Jake explains to Finn that he used to hang out at the Candy Tavern, in his words, back when I used to snatch old ladies' purses. Based on Finn's reaction, this is the first Finn even had a hint that Jake had a sketchy past. Jake defends himself by saying, I didn't know it was wrong, but I'd say it's likely he just didn't want to expose Finn to the Candy Tavern's miserable world of ne'er-do-wells. This fits with the protective attitude Jake has towards Finn for the entirety of Adventure Time's run, with very few exceptions. Incidentally, Jake also used to hawk stolen bikes, which Finn also knew nothing about, and other episodes point to further misdeeds. That dog has a dubious past. Anyway, when Finn finds out that Penny tricked him into stealing, he doesn't see it as bad luck, he sees it as an absolute moral failure on his part. And Thomas Nagel, despite writing an essay called Moral Luck, wouldn't just sum up what happened to Finn as luck. According to Nagel, whether we succeed or fail in what we try to do nearly always depends to some extent on factors beyond our control. This is true of murder, altruism, revolution, the sacrifice of certain interests for the sake of others, almost any morally important act. What has been done and what is morally judged is partly determined by external factors. So Nagel's argument isn't that we dismiss any moral act as luck. His argument is that we should accept that to a degree, whether we find ourselves in morally challenging situations is down to luck. Finn, for example, was brought up to see himself as upstanding and moral inherently. Jake encourages him to believe this in the episode. Their father also had quite simplistic views about good and evil. Because Finn thinks he is pure, he confidently walks into a cesspit of a city where he is easily manipulated into theft. Or, as Nagel memorably put it, everything we do belongs to a world we have not created. When I first watched City of Thieves, I remember finding it annoying. Anyone who goes into the city must become a thief. It seemed gimmicky and unrealistic. But upon rewatching the episode years later, I think it presents an interesting idea. With a simple but dramatic plot, it artfully unravels the reality of factors outside our control that influence our behavior all our lives. We're all influenced by where we're born, who we're surrounded by, and the society that develops around us. In City of Thieves, Finn realizes that good intentions and believing in being good aren't enough to prevent him from making mistakes and wronging other people. Purity is an illusion. In short, this is the episode where Finn confronts his most challenging enemy yet, namely moral complexity. Finn is ultimately a hero who, like everyone, is flawed. That wraps up my thoughts about City of Thieves. If you enjoyed this video overanalyzing a story about an adorable cartoon girl called Penny and her ruthless triumph over everyone's favorite cartoon hero, you can help the channel by liking and subscribing. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed already. Have a great week, embrace the weird, and thank you for watching.